What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're actually going to be doing some pretty cool stuff. We have a pretty sweet CNC plasma table back there. We'll be talking about it in a minute, but we are going to be back to work on our 1986 BMW E30, and we do actually have some new shirts on the website. This is the same exact color that we've picked on the interior of this car, and as you guys know, in the previous episode, we got most of the interior done. We are going to be ripping it out here soon to get it all painted, but what I want to focus on today is actually getting this engine right here mounted into the car. And we actually have our CNC table over here from Arc One CNC. So this is David from Arc One CNC. Today he's gonna be showing us around this beautiful piece of machinery right here. We did already do a little test cuts, right? We cut a sword out and some other small stuff. But right now we actually need to head to the steel store and grab some more sheets of steel, because we do need some thicker pieces. That's the leftover pieces from the Mustang. So we're gonna go grab some thicker pieces for the engine mounts for the E30. So we're heading to the steel store right now. We're gonna go ahead and grab some couple of pieces of metal for our engine brackets, and we've already did a little bit of cutting on this machine. I'm super excited to see exactly how it works and how much easier it's gonna be to build custom brackets and custom parts versus cutting everything out with the grinder. Let's go ahead and pick up the steel and we'll head back to the shop.
Name a better duo with Ben at the steel store.
No better deal. I'm telling you guys, we're here probably like twice a day.
Twice.
Picking up steel,
Straight up.
welding stuff. But
these guys made a fortune off you already, probably. I'm telling you. Look at this guy. You know his name?
Forklift driver right there.
That's your best buddy.
Can we film outside?
Sweet.
We got the Danger Ranger out here, guys. We're gonna get some new frame rails for the Mustangs.
Steel picker up. Honestly, that's all you use.
Danger Ranger. All right, so what we need is some steel over here. Yeah, see, we're gonna use these right here for the Mustang frame rails, just to make them a lot stronger. Some of you guys were worried about that. I'm just kidding.
I don't think your Mustang is strong enough yet.
Yeah, so what we need to grab right now is basically just a couple of flat sheets so we can cut the mounts out of. Not too wide. See, that's what we need right there. I think that'll do. I think this.
Feel him, don't feel me.
Feel me. I need one of these drops over here. Yay long. Yay big. Yay thick. Not that thick.
Perfect measurements, perfect.
What you got there in your hand, Bill? Well, it's about a quarter, ain't it?
So we got all our steel, and now we're gonna head back to the shop. My seatbelt is blinking. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. And we're gonna head back to the shop, and our good friend David is gonna show us exactly how to cut these engine mounts out. All right, guys. So we are back. We're back at the shop, and we got this plate right here, and we're about to start cutting it. And this is exactly what we're gonna be building. We first want to build our little plate that's going to bolt onto here, and then obviously we're going to have pieces coming off here. So what we're going to do is David's actually going to show us with the CNC machine how to actually design it on the computer, and then we'll put it in there and get it cut out.
Well, my wife is currently in school for
So we got the metal plate on the CNC table, and then David's going to explain to us exactly how we're going to do it.
Yeah, so he has a concept already. He already has a line drawing, and so we're going to recreate that in vCarve Pro. So we're going to open up here. Go ahead and create new file, and we're going to press OK, and we're going to begin our drawing here. So we know we're starting off with basic shapes. So we're going to be a square. What was the measurements around that? I'm gonna let you do it too. So.
We actually have a template already. We just found it online, which is going to simplify the entire process. So I'm guessing that it's going to be 5. So we got all the measurements right here on my phone, and now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put it in the template.
Okay, so close that out now. All right. So how far is the offset of the holes? Do you know? Inward, offset inward point, whatever that is. Put radiuses on there? Okay. That's just a 1/4 inch. And you can change that anytime if you need bigger.
Sweet. So we got the bracket all designed up, and on the software it's super simple and super easy to use. Now what we're going to do is actually transfer this little USB drive to the actual computer over there, and I think that should cut it out on the table.
And then you're going to, once you get it there, you're going to 0 X, Y, and Z. You're going to load G code. And then you're going to check part fit.
So we got it nice and cut out, and man, it just fits up there beautifully and perfect. And since we did change out the tip, there's really not much slag on there, and it's gonna save us a lot of time. Now what we're gonna do is grab some bolts and bolt this on. So check that out, guys. We got this engine bracket bolted on. This is just the first piece of the puzzle. We are still gonna have to make the brackets that come down, but man, check that out. It literally looks like a part that you just bought from the store. It's all bolted on really nice and strong. And the cool thing about this machine, it also has tube cutting capabilities. So let's go to the machine and learn how to use that.
Come on, right, a little bit more. Right there, down.
It's gonna be a lot easier than the tube notcher that we've been using with the drill. But we'll still use it every now and then, but I think this is gonna be a lot better. But the thing is, it can't bend, it can't cut like bent tubes, so we'll still have to use our notcher for bent tubes. For straight tubes, you can notch it pretty easy. This is Brian from Hypertherm. He's actually gonna be teaching me how to use this software right here for the tube cutting. So what are we gonna do first?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add a part, or you want to go over here. So we're gonna do a round. All right. So it's gonna pull up your properties for this particular tube. It's set at 105 thousandths wall tubing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we got.
You've got your tube. You want to call it a specific part. And then you can add branches or cutouts or anything like that.
Let's probably add a cutout.
You would right click on it, add cutout, and then it's going to pull up your properties here on your cutout. So, and then you've got your lateral offset. It's based off the center line. Yeah, you can change that too. Yeah.
That is sweet.
Now you can see how it's starting to build, and you can keep building on this.
That is sweet. Now this right here, these cut out. So we've just made our first little test design right now. We have one notch right here and then two through, and then this is like a countersunk notch. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put it on the little USB and then send it to that computer, and let's see if we can get it cut out. Now how do you load that file in? Is it the same way?
loosen that chuck up and get you some practice on that. There you go. That's good. Just kind of pull that out. Watch the end of it, maybe on. Let's move that down to the thing down there. What you want to do is on this, get it kind of centered.
Alright. Oh, and just level out the tube.
So remember, the straighter the tube, the better you're going to be.
Do we have to loosen this at all since we kind of just lowered it? We'll only have to loosen this up a little bit because we kind of did lower it right.
That's good. Bring the head down a little.
Right there.
Come down a little bit more. Just right there. Left just a little bit.
With it because there was some settings that we need that weren't.
Trial and error, just like this Mustang back here.
I mean,
We'll
Ben's
get
gonna
it,
mess with this a lot, so he's gonna become a master at it here soon.
And you will. You will. The more you fool with this machinery, the more you mess with the software, the more capable you're going to be.
Well, the coolest thing is, like, we just started learning how to use this thing. We've already cut a clock out.
This is the second day. So you can see how fast it's very user friendly. You have great help. You also have me you can call through support. And
there's a lot of help on the high-performance program.
Straight up into the torque.
Like that?
Yep. Watch, don't burn yourself on that pipe either. Other way. There you go, perfect.
Check this out, guys. We got these tubes notched with the CNC pipe cutter, and check out that. It just lines up perfectly. Obviously, it's gonna need a little bit of trimming right here along the edges, but it's gonna save a lot of time on our builds, especially for roll cages and stuff like that. And that lines up too. It's gonna need a little bit of cleaning. It is a little bit dirtier than the notching, but it's a lot quicker and a lot more precise because everything's in the computer. Now we got David over here from Arc One. He's gonna tell you guys a little bit more about Arc One CNC.
So this is Arc One CNC. So if you're looking for a 4x4 table, a 4x8 or 5x10, fully welded frame, all the software that we're using, we have ProNest LT from Hypertherm, amazing software for nesting. We also have Rotary Tube Pro from Hypertherm, so that's where we're doing all of our pipe cutting and getting all the copes for that. So if you're looking for a table, go to www.arc1cnc/vTuned and check us out.
So big shout out to Arc One CNC. They came down here, they showed us how to use it, and the coolest thing was it's really simple to use. I actually made this clock in about 10 minutes, and here it is right here, just from a thought to a thing, just super fast. So a big shout out to you guys. They showed us how to use it. So if you guys want to get you a CNC table, head over to arc1cnc.com/vTuned and check out what they have. And they are also made in America, which is really cool. So now what we're gonna do is go ahead and get the E30 on the lift, and we're gonna start building the rest of the engine mounts. So we went ahead and put the E30 on the lift, and now what I want to start doing is go ahead and get most of this suspension off the car, because we are about to start lowering our engine, or actually we might lift it up into there. It's gonna be a lot easier. So we need to get the subframe off. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up the car a little bit and I'll show you guys exactly what we're gonna take off. So now that we got the car up in the air, what I want to start doing is taking off all the rest of the suspension, get all these brake lines out of the way because we're not going to be using them. And there's actually a fuel line here too, which we probably are going to upgrade to a braided fuel line. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and get this subframe off and get these control arms off, because as you guys know, we are going to be doing the E36 front end conversion, which is going to give us the 5 lugs. So let's go ahead and grab some tools and get all this stripped down. So we got the entire subframe off. We went ahead and stripped everything off of it because we probably will need to reinforce some of this area right here, because as you can see, this is the old stock mounts and it just looks pretty weak, so we might have to cut some out and weld it up right there, get it all nice and strong. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and bring the LS engine over here. So we got the engine over here, and now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and lower down the car, and then we can go ahead and drop the engine in and check all our clearances. Okay, give me a second, I'm gonna hop in over there. Move in. Wait, okay, now lower it, lower it. Okay, move in, lower it. Alright, lower it. Okay, lower it. Lower it. Mark, watch your hands. Lower it. Lower it. Alright, you're good. Alright, I gotta get back in. There you go. So we got the engine on a jack stands, 2 of them, and we kind of just want to see exactly how we can line it up, because I think we might need to do a little bit of adjusting on the transmission tunnel back there. There's a couple of humps that we need to probably just hammer in and like dolly them out. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and lift the car up and see exactly where it was scraping. So we kind of did lower it down and it started hitting the transmission. So let's lift the car back up and hammer those spots in. Ben, what's up? Yo, can you help me? Sure. What's going on?
I don't know where this plug goes. I got everything hooked up. That's the only thing left.
Oh man, all right, so we got one ground right here. Where'd you get this from, the injector lines?
Yeah.
Man, this BMW motor is crazy, guys. See, this is why I didn't want to do like a modern BMW engine. Just look how much wires and how crazy everything is going on under here. And a V8 would be even more crazier. There's just too much wires. This looks like a ground, so maybe...
I was thinking maybe it goes on the rail. Do you think that power steering would require a plug? Look how big that is.
That could actually be the power steering plug, and that looks like a pretty... That's definitely a sensor right there. What I would do is Google power steering for a BMW like this and see if the plugs match up, and maybe that's it.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah, these
appreciate
cars are a pain in the butt. The motorhead has been replacing this motor for a couple of days. I mean, it looks quite simple, but then once you get into it, it's just a bunch of spaghetti. You got wires everywhere, but he's getting it done. Now let's get back to work on the E30. So as you can see right here, we had a little bit of scraping. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and tap some of this in right here and just straighten it up, and probably do the same thing on this side. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to go ahead and just remove this bracket right here. This is for the old shifter. So we're gonna remove this and flatten all this out. All right, guys, so we got the engine in there. It fits a lot better than it did, and we will still have to do some cutting and manufacturing on there. But I think that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. As you guys know, we did set up the CNC table, which the training was around 2 days, so we kind of lost a little bit of time on this build, but that's all right. And as you can see, that is the first bracket we built right there. We just built the actual faceplate for it, and we're gonna go ahead and start designing the rest of all the brackets for this car. But if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of big things coming here soon. Hit the subscribe button, go to vTuned.com if you want some merch, and also don't forget to follow us on Instagram at vTuned. Thanks for watching.